Dwight Howard is beginning to gain interest from teams like the Golden State Warriors. So he might stay in California, but he just might move somewhere else and go to Golden State. They've begun to show interest in the Lakers center, who played a pivotal role in their really regular season and playoff run. Didn't play as much in the NBA Finals, but the Lakers also really want to bring him back. Now, at 34 years old, he actually proved that he still has a lot to give to this team and a lot to give to the NBA. And Golden State is a team that desperately needs a big man. If they can get him on this team, that starting five is much more rounded out with Clay and Steph in the backcourt. At this point, why wouldn't you just keep Andrew Wiggins and run him at the three with Draymond and Dwight in the middle? Now, their bench isn't all that impressive. I mean, Jordan Poole was fun in his rookie season. Damian Lee is really mainly a Golden State Warrior because his brother-in-law is Steph Curry. I like Eric Pascal. Marquise Chris is pretty good, but they have that number 2 overall pick. And now, instead of using that on a big man, they can use it on their wing depth, and I think that would be huge for them if they can go out and get Dwight Howard. Now, my expectation is that Dwight re-signs with the Lakers. I think he wants to continue to win championships, and although the Warriors will be back in that championship conversation, they're not really, I would say, a lock to win the West like I believe the Lakers are at this point in time. So let me know in the comment section, should Dwight sign with the Warriors? Not will he, but should he? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think the argument for him signing with the Lakers with the Warriors, is a bigger role, still on a winning team. He just gets more guaranteed time. The answer for no is pretty simple. Put more rings on that finger and on that resume for Dwight Howard. Let's talk about a guy that's not a free agent, but one of the most polarizing figures on the Lakers right now is Kyle Kuzma. Apparently, not just one, not just two, but multiple teams are lining up offers to make the Lakers to trade for Kyle Kuzma this year. Now, his defense looked a lot better this season, I will admit to that, but as a whole, he took a step backwards. I mean, almost nothing except a little bump in his three-point percentage was as good for Kyle Kuzma. Now, granted, he was playing with a much better team this year than he was last season, and he was, asked to do a little bit less, but the Lakers were hoping this guy would be their third star after they drafted him in the second round. He was a huge surprise to everyone, but that wasn't the case. In fact, I think Kyle Kuzma is best served as a trade chip to get this team more win-now experience. I know you want him to be a part of your core, but I'm just going to be honest. This guy is never going to be more than just a fun spark off the bench. So I'll be interested to see what team trades for him. I think a team like the Atlanta Hawks could make a lot of sense, or some other really young rebuilding team that want to add to a young core. Now, I truly believe Kyle Kuzma is overrated at this point. I'll say it right now. I want to know who you think the most overrated player is in the entire NBA. It can be Kyle Kuzma. You can agree with me. I think a lot of players on the Lakers make sense because if you're on the Lakers, if you're on the winning team of the 2020 NBA Finals, you're going to be overrated naturally. But let me know in the comment section who you think the most overrated player is. Now, let's stay in California. We'll go to the Sacramento Kings with Bogdan Bogdanovic. Apparently, the Kings are willing to let him walk as a restricted free agent, and the Bucks are about to jump all over it and are going to try to sign him to basically give Giannis some more winning pieces. And I love this move from Milwaukee. I love Bogdanovic. I think he didn't get a fair shake in Sacramento this past year. I think Luke Walton is basically wasting the talent that he has. I think he would be a perfect fit with the Bucks and naturally fit into the starting five. You can see every single year, even though this year was kind of a down year from an efficiency standpoint, he took a step up in points per game basically every year. Rookie year puts up 11, then goes to 14, then jumps up to 15, and each year is shooting better than 36% from three. Big fan of Bogdanovic, big fan of what he'd bring to this Milwaukee team because obviously they have Middleton, they have Giannis. Those guys are really their two stars. I call Chris Middleton a star because he made the All-Star team, but Eric Bledsoe, he's a great defensive guard, which makes up for the fact that Bogdanovic is not that great defensively. And you got Brook Lopez in the middle. I like what Bogdanovic will bring to this team. You got to get more pieces around Giannis that are not just going to help him win now, but help him win for the future. Bogdanovic is young enough to do both. So if the Bucks can steal him away, if Sacramento truly believes that they just want to let him walk, I think it's perfect to go ahead and bring Bogdanovic onto this Milwaukee team. Now, I want to ask you this question as we talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, who were the best team in the Eastern Conference, but they didn't win the East. Who's your favorite to win the East next season? Now, some people around the office think it's just a two-team race, and it's either the Milwaukee Bucks or the Miami Heat, the two that were at the top, but maybe you disagree and you think Boston needs to be included in that conversation as well. You can type BOS if you think it's the Celtics, MIL if you think it's the Milwaukee Bucks, MIA if you think it's the defending Eastern Conference champions in the Miami Heat, or you can shout out any other team. I think you can honestly probably throw Brooklyn in here as well, but they haven't really proven to me that they are ready to win the Eastern Conference. So again, type MIL for the Bucks, type BOS for the Celtics, type MIA for the Heat. And a lot of people are going to flame me for this, but I'm sticking with the Milwaukee Bucks, okay? I still think they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. In fact, I think they're going to be in the NBA championship next year if they can get the right teams, or right players, around Giannis Antetokounmpo in the offseason. Now, if you want to rep your favorite team, or I guess whoever you think is going to win the Eastern Conference, you can do that at chatsports.com/NBA Mask. Great deals going right now. Packs of 2, packs of 3, packs of 4, or you can just get one if you're single and lonely and just want to get one for yourself. That's fine too. We don't hate. Fanatics has got you hooked up. Whoever your favorite team is, go rep them today. Great prices, and they are shipping for free for a limited time only at chatsports.com/NBA Mask. Go check them out today. Now let's talk about some more trade rumors around Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, could he be going to the Houston Rockets? According to Scoop B. Robinson, who has just had all the scoop this offseason already, they are lining up an offer for Joel Embiid, which is a bit confusing to me because they don't even have a GM, so how are they making offers? I don't really know how that works, but I will say, if they could get Joel Embiid in there and all of a sudden turn around this small ball that they were running and finally get a true center, it could be a lot of fun. And if your big threes, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Joel Embiid, you should absolutely win some games. But here's another problem that I don't think anybody's talking about. Russell Westbrook and Joel Embiid don't like each other at all. They're not friends off the court, and they're not friends on the court. So I don't really know where this rumor is coming from on Scoop B's part. I like to believe it for the fun of it, and I think it could be a fun idea to make a trade happen. But I think if you're going to trade for Joel Embiid, you probably have to include Russell Westbrook because the Rockets don't have anything that the Sixers want. You think they want PJ Tucker? No. You think they want Eric Gordon? No. You think they want, I don't know who else is on that team. Literally the rest of that team is, I like Robert Covington, but he's already been on the Sixers. So it ain't going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and debunk this right now. Fake news. Do not believe it. I don't think Embiid will end up on the Houston Rockets. But if he does, or if any big-name player or small-name player gets traded in the offseason, literally anybody, we're going to go live here on Chat Sports. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV, the best place to be for all your NBA offseason coverage. Now let's talk about some more newsy things. We'll kind of go quickly through these last couple as Tyron Lue goes to the Los Angeles Clippers. He spent last season as Doc Rivers' basically head assistant, and he is now putting Chauncey Billups in his role as the former lead assistant. Tyron Lue interviewed for a couple other jobs as well, including the Houston Rockets and the New Orleans Pelicans opening. Everybody thought he was going to go coach the Rockets. That didn't happen, and now he's sticking with the Clippers. Pacers and Thunder also have openings, and we'll just have to see who they end up bringing in for those two teams. But I'm kind of surprised that this happened as quickly as it did. I thought Tyron Lue was really going to entertain that Rockets offer, but it just didn't happen. So go ahead and grade the hire for me, A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section, and if you're watching live with us in the live chat as well. I'm going to give this a very solid C+, and here's why. NBA teams are getting very boring and very predictable with the head coaches that they are bringing in. I love what Brooklyn did. They took a chance on a brand new head coach in Steve Nash, and if it doesn't work, hey, at least they can say they tried. These recycled coaches like the Tyron Lues and the Jeff Van Gundy's and the Mark Jacksons and the guys that keep getting jobs and keep failing elsewhere, the Luke Waltons as well, it's boring, it's played out, and we know it's not going to work. Now, I think Tyron Lue is a fine head coach. I don't think he got a fair shake in Cleveland, but it doesn't excite me. And when you have a team as exciting as the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, get somebody in there that's exciting and wants to make a difference. You know who I would have brought in? The guy who's now the lead assistant. I would have given Chauncey Billups the head coaching job. I would have taken a chance on a former NBA player that knows how to win, not Tyron Lue, who went 0-6 with the Cleveland Cavaliers a few years ago. I'm out on this hire. It's whatever. He knows the system. That's fine. It's just boring to me. It's not exciting. Doesn't get me excited like the Steve Nash to Brooklyn hire did, but whatever. I'm not the head coach. I'm not the GM, I guess. But if you want to hire me as the head coach, I'm available. You can follow me on Twitter and give me a DM if you want to hire me. Now, one guy that needs a job, or actually I guess just quit his job, and he's looking for something new and fun to do, is Daryl Morey of the Houston Rockets. He, for some reason, stepped down as the GM in a very surprising move because he's been there since 08 or 07, I guess. Now, they've promoted Rafael Stone, who was the vice president of basketball operations for the Rockets, to his GM position, but I think he'll serve as more of an interim GM, not there for the long haul. And now the Rockets are completely up in the air. I mean, Houston, we have a problem. They have no GM. They have no head coach. Russell Westbrook and James Harden did not work out well together. And it looks like Jeff Van Gundy's about to be their next head coach. There's a lot of problems in that right there. So many problems that I couldn't even fit them all on this graphic. So I'm kind of out on this Houston team. And apparently Daryl Morey is as well. And there could be a lot of changes coming this offseason, including a potential Russell Westbrook trade. We'll do a video on that very, very soon. But I want to ask you guys this simple question to end this news and rumors segment. Should Houston keep or should they trade Russell Westbrook? T for trade or K for keep?